reductions in hours, staffing, services, materials. It's not just books.
These are really very difficult times that the state's facing, and my colleagues and I are trying to find a way to balance the budget. And you know, in this kind of an effort, you expect everyone to give a little bit, and so it's important that everyone share the pain, but not to have libraries go down the drain. So I want to tell you, you all have made an enormous impact. I have received 28,000 emails in the last 2 days. Now I hope you're also sending copies of those emails to some of the folks in there, our governor, the president of the Senate, and the Speaker of the House, and telling them how important this is, because your message will be heard. And know that we're talking to the colleagues in the House. They've heard, my other colleagues in the House have heard your message loud and strong. And know that we'll be there fighting for libraries. We appreciate everything that you're doing. Thank you so much for being here in the hot sun. Let's go, libraries.
The library has always been close to my heart and my family's heart. Aaron says it's quiet in there. They're not as quiet as they used to be, but we accept that. But there's a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge. We're fortunate enough to have many libraries in Cuyahoga County. And the suburb that we live in, I use the Beechwood Library and the Mayfield Heights Library. If these cuts happen, it will affect more than people that it can afford. Some of us can afford to do other things, get education, go to college, and so forth. Some people cannot. There are people in the state of Ohio that truly need these libraries. We understand he has to make major cuts in Ohio, but this is one of the last places I think we need to make cuts.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you.
8 million card holders in the state of Ohio. All of the rest of you here are too, and I'm sure lots of folks inside the State House are as well.
We're not mad at the legislation.
My son is engaging in his first summer reading program, his very first summer reading program. And thanks to the librarians at my local library, the Worthington Library, he is learning early literacy skills as part of Ohio's Ready to Read program. Without these resources, his life would be much less rich, as would mine, as would all of Ohio.
You know, last year, when my son wanted to have a book to read, I could buy it for him. Unfortunately, this year I can't afford to do that. There are a lot of people I know in this crowd who are having a hard time economically, and I'm one of them. My son loves to read. He's 9 years old. His name is Noah. He's got a book right now by Lloyd Alexander that he got at our Northside Public Library. I couldn't keep up with his desire to read unless we had that library there. My daughter, Tess, is 5, and she is just learning to love to read. And I won't be able to keep up unless she has the book she needs. And I know that if they read, then they'll grow up strong in body and in mind.
Thank you, and thank you all for coming out, especially Mr. Celeste. Like the last speaker, I am not a librarian. I'm just a book lover. I would like to read my letter to the governor. Dear Governor Strickland, I'm writing you, if you haven't already guessed, to express my deep concern of your proposal to slash the budget of Ohio Public Libraries by $227.3 million. I've tried to wrap my brain around what was announced last Friday. I'm finding this difficult because what was announced last Friday is surreal. My only recourse is to assume that you have failed to realize the profound social, economic, and educational functions our libraries serve in contemporary society. Free internet, youth programs, education, one and only hope for employment to the poor, supplemental workshops, and one-on-one instruction that teaches procedural competencies and electronic literacies to the poor, competencies and literacies that those of higher socioeconomic status take for granted. These have all been outlined for you on your Facebook wall, which as of now is completely refreshed with new comments on the matter every 45 minutes or so, and probably elsewhere. I won't belabor them. Public libraries are simply essential to society. They are as old as modern democracy, and most would argue that they are coextensive with and essential to modern democracy. One cannot threaten 175 library systems in a given society with annihilation and cripple the other 76. They are ingrained into how our society works. It is like proposing to remove a vital organ from a body so that the other organs can get more blood. It is not dissimilar to deciding to instantaneously dismantle half of Ohio's police force. I understand you have to be pragmatic, so I'll put this in a very cut and dry kind of way. The services provided by libraries are essential. They are necessary. They cannot be done without. You judged Ohio's library system a luxury. It is not. Budget cuts on the order that you are proposing will alienate and frustrate those of our citizenry who are the most at risk and troubled and who are, for the time being anyway, trying the hardest to do something about it. As the economy continues to dwindle, the role of the library as an invaluable resource to people hoping to reestablish themselves is becoming increasingly apparent and is receiving specific media attention, such as the February 2nd, 2009 airing of CBS Evening News, In Recession, Libraries Are Booming, and the June 11th, 2009 airing of the Today Show, Libraries Lend a Hand in Tough Times. Libraries will close, services will be withdrawn. As of 2007, Ohio had a little more over 8 million registered borrowers and only about 7.9 million registered voters. People are going to notice. They are not going to be happy. This is one of those rare issues that will completely transcend party and class ties, and you will look awful. Respectfully, Daniel Goodhart.